Welcome back to the YAC Weekly. I am currently enjoying the last rays of sunshine from our warm summer days. Fall is approaching quickly, so make sure you stay tuned to the YAC Weekly every week so that you can stay up to date with what's happening and where you can be serving. Our first video this week is from Pastor Jonas as an update from the student ministry.
Hey there, York Alliance family. I just wanted to take a minute to fill you in a little bit on what's happening with our student ministry in this fall and in the coming year. Obviously with COVID, we've had some changes, and some of those we're going to keep, and some of those we're still changing and figuring out. Flexibility is a key word around here. But we know that there's a lot of questions, and so we want to try and answer them, especially for our midweek program, so that you know what's happening. On first Wednesdays, our middle schoolers and our high schoolers will be joining every other month with our whole church body as we come to worship and pray on first Wednesday. And then on the other month, we'll be doing something as a student ministry, middle school and high school, maybe doing prayer walks or worship in a park, something like that. But every other month with the church body, and every other month just as a student ministry, but always worship and prayer. On second and fourth Wednesdays, our high schoolers are actually going to be meeting in the homes of their small group leaders. And our middle schoolers will be meeting at the church for something based around middle school ministries. It's focused on them and their energetic lifestyle. This is something we experienced over the summer. We saw the group get separated, which is really hard for us. Our students love each other a lot. High schooler through, from the youngest to the oldest, they love to be together. But we feel we can better meet needs and better challenge them in their walk by developing an age-appropriate environment. And so we're excited to see our high schoolers get into the homes of their leadership team and go into their small group leader and spending time developing that family feel and being able to really break down the walls and get into each other's lives. It really, I've seen through the years that meeting in homes, like in our community groups with adults, it breaks down walls and allows for deeper discipleship partnering and mentoring to happen. And so we're excited about that. We'll look forward to some low-key casual worship going on in those. We have so many musicians in our youth ministry, and so we're excited to see some of them use their gifts in their small groups and things like that. With our middle school, we're really excited to see some of our leaders have come up with ideas and plans for games and activities that are middle school based, and from there the teaching that'll come, and we'll still do small groups, but it'll be more focused towards middle schoolers. So we're excited about both these. So second and fourth Wednesdays, we'll be doing that, as well as I know that there are some families that are in need of some Zoom options because of high risk or maybe exposure of people working and things like that. We're working on it. We're working on a concept of maybe either a Zoom small group or possibly even Zooming the students into the small group they would be a part of when all of this kind of settles down. So we're working on that. Let me know if that's a need for your family, please. If you need a Zoom option, let me know. Then third Wednesdays, so we've talked about first Wednesdays, second and fourth Wednesdays. Third Wednesdays are going to be service oriented. It's a chance for our students to learn to be the hands and feet of Jesus. They're going to go out and serve like we did during Connect. They're going to be going out into the neighborhood or to a local mission agency, at least in the beginning. They're going to be doing these things as leaders develop ideas. But our goal is that our students, as they begin to hear from God, they begin to develop passions in certain areas and for certain opportunities, things they see within the city or around that they feel called by God to make a difference in. We want to empower them, and we'll develop a group around them and go and do different things. And so we're really excited about this. It's an opportunity for them to live out what they're learning and to grow in that. Wednesday night is a big part of our discipleship pathway. And so there's a lot more to it, and if you want to hear more, I would love for you to touch base with me. I just don't want to take up all the time right now. Finally, fifth Wednesdays, they're going to be our outreach-oriented ones, 4 times a year. We're going to be doing some right now COVID compliant. Maybe even we're working on a Zoom escape room so that they can invite their friends to come and be part of that. But we're going to be doing things, fun things, that they can invite a friend who doesn't yet know Jesus to come and be a part of seeing what the family of God is all about and finding life in Jesus. So hopefully that gives you a little insight into what's going to be happening on Wednesdays for the fall. Like I said, there's a lot more going on. Touch base with me if you'd like to know. Have a great day. God bless.
So I told you last week that we would be hearing from Mosaic City Church as they decide to launch this week. They are in fact still launching, and so here's a quick video from them just talking about what that's going to look like, how we can be praying for them, and then a short response from Pastor Brian on his thoughts.
Hello, York Alliance family. We are the Mosaic City Church lead team. We've got great news for you. We are launching this Sunday in this park. Yes. We are so excited. Here's how you can be praying for us. We're inviting our family and friends and the residents of the Albemarle Park community on this week. Please pray for those invitations, that people will come and join us. We also ask that you would pray, what was the other thing? For the weather! For the weather! Please pray for the weather. We are so excited and we are so grateful that you're in this with us. And so we thank you for your prayers. And hey guys, we miss you.
Yes,
we
miss
you
guys.
Love you.
See ya.
Isn't that amazing? We are finally here after praying for years and years, investing in the Albemarle community. We're finally launching public services for Mosaic City Church. It's so exciting. So thrilled for the lead team that you just saw, as well as the launch team that's preparing. I would encourage you, just as they asked, to pray with them. Let me just give you a couple words as this new church launches. First of all, I know that there's a lot of curiosity. Many of you have asked me about what's going on, and we're thrilled that they're able to finally step into having live services. I know that some of you are going to want to check that out at some point in time. So we'd ask a couple things. First of all, please don't check it out this coming Sunday. Give them a few weeks to launch and to get some of the bugs worked out, to be able to welcome in new friends and neighbors before you come and see what's going on. But we recognize that you may want to do that. And if you do, that's totally fine. If you want to, for a Sunday, just go and experience the Mosaic worship experience, we're fine with that. But if you are intentionally questioning whether God may be calling you to be a part of the Mosaic City Church, we would just simply ask that you talk to myself as well as Pastor Mike so we can help you navigate the process. Certainly there's going to be lots of people joining Mosaic as they get moving, and we're thrilled for that. But we would love for the opportunity to walk with any from York Alliance who want to step in. We're glad for you to do that, but we just want to make sure that we can shepherd that process. We're so excited. I want to ask you to be praying for Mosaic this week. We're so thrilled that they're going to step into this, and we're just praying God's greatest blessing on them.
As we've gone through this summer, it's been truly amazing to hear the stories of how God has been at work in your communities, in your families, in your one-on-one relationships, and more. This week, we have a story of how Rocky Railway, the kids program, really impacted a community around us. Listen to their story.
Hi, I'm Michael, and this is my wife Jessica, and we have 3 children. Our family's been attending York Alliance since spring of 2017, and we would like to share a little of how God has been working in and through our community group this summer. Our story begins with a challenge from the pastoral team to be the church in the community around us. Our community group decided that we would dig into the area around our home, and we began prayer walking the neighborhood. We all could feel the need to be doing something, but we weren't sure where to start or how to go about it. Thankfully, God was already working and He had a plan. We just needed to act in faith and step out.
My daughter approached me one night about beginning a Bible club with my boys and my next door neighbor's children. And that seemed like quite an undertaking. And I was a little nervous, but I said, okay, let's look into it the next day. Lo and behold, the next day, an email popped up from the children's ministry team saying that there was going to be VBS that would be available for you to use at home. And it was an answer to prayer. It was exactly what we needed. So my daughter and I knew that that was what we would use. And we invited our neighbors. So that would be my family, my 2 boys, and another boy and a little girl. And in an answer to prayer, God led us to another neighbor that had lived near us for over a year, but we hadn't made connections with them until COVID happened and everyone kind of came out of their house. And we met this lady and her 2 boys, and they wanted to be a part of the VBS as well. So I told Beth that we needed more packets than just the usual amount, and she was excited for us, and we were excited. Our community group was completely behind this activity. They provided resources and they came and helped out with this. And the week or two before we were going to start, my kids and I met up with another family at a park nearby our house. And we met a family there that moved into town in February, right before COVID shut everything down. And her family had 5 kids, and they had been looking for community, and in an isolated period, it's impossible. I knew I wanted to invite them to VBS, but I wanted to be sure that there was enough materials to go around. So I emailed Beth that night, and I told her what happened, that I met this lady and her kids, and I really think that God wants them to join us. And she said, I knew. Beth emailed back saying that she'd prepared for such an event as more people joining this kind of at-home VBS. And so there were enough to go around. So that brought our VBS total up to around 11. And we definitely needed the manpower and prayer of our big God and our community group. During the VBS, this family had a major health crisis happen with one of their children, and this little boy needed major surgery. And we were able to gather around them as VBS kids gathered around him. We were able to pray for him, and a few members of the community group were able to bring meals to the family and support them in this way that only God could have ordained. I remember the first VBS that morning, after preparing and praying, I still felt so unprepared. I still felt like I had bit off way more than I could chew. And I was overwhelmed. And I read that morning in Isaiah. And this verse that God spoke to me through this verse, he said in Isaiah 41:13, "For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you." And I knew that it was only God who ordained all these events to take place, and that it was God's hand working through me and through every person in the community group that was coming, and through every person that was speaking on the TV, that had prayed over this VBS, that had put their heart and soul into it, and so much energy and talent through the actors and the leaders and the tech team. God used this for his glory. He asks us to just give ourselves to him, and he's going to do the hard work. He does the heavy lifting.
So we encourage you, all around you, God is already working. He's just waiting for people to step out in faith and engage in the work. He'll provide everything. He provided the supplies. He provided the manpower. He provided the people. They just showed up. We didn't really go looking to have as large of a VBS as we did.
Oh.
But through it all, God was there. He had a plan, and he knew exactly what he was doing, even though we didn't feel like we did. So, thank you for letting us share this with you.
Well, that's it for this edition of the York Alliance Weekly. Thanks for tuning in. And just a reminder, this week is a Communion Sunday, so if you're joining us through video, we encourage you to grab those elements and join us. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Sunday.